Good morning, guys. We got like 4 inches of snow last night, maybe 5 inches. It's so pretty outside. I did get out like 15 minutes maybe. I'd love to get outside today, but I don't know if it's gonna happen because it's so cold and I don't feel like dragging my kids out into the cold and having them whine. They don't last very long. Maybe I'll go out in the dark later by myself. But anyways, I wanted to get out. I don't think it's gonna happen. So instead, I'm going to show off all of my little collection in my bathroom of all the cool things that I have. And yeah, just a little show and tell. So this was all empty. There were no shelves here when I first moved in here. My brothers built me all the shelves in my house. Stained these for me. And I just kind of used them to put my crap on. And my giant pine cone from California. My sister used to live in California, and I went out there for a week during COVID, and it was amazing. It was so cheap. I flew out to California, round trip for $250 during COVID. We went to Yosemite. We did Big Sur. We hiked all over the place, and it was the most amazing thing. The tidal pools. The tidal pools were so cool. Here is that. There's my pine cone. I keep some of my paintbrushes up here. This bottle was from one of my videos recently. This Coke bottle. I reuse these. I keep a couple spearmint, orange, stuff like that, and I refill them. The foamy things, you can reuse them. This my sister got for me at a thrift store, and this is Culper Cascade in Yellowstone. I used to spend a lot of time in Yellowstone when I lived in Idaho. So there's that. This is so cool. This is a fossil. Well, it's a bunch of seashell fossils. This is pretty big actually. And it's very heavy. Get a close-up of those. I found this in a pile of construction rocks in East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. East Stroudsburg is up in the Poconos, and the whole place is loaded with fossils. I have a little wasp nest that I found that I thought was kind of cool. I think it's a wasp nest. Little paper nest. Some of my crystals. I don't know if that's gonna focus. Little crystal cluster from McAdoo, PA, or maybe Tresco. That's up by Hazleton. Here we have one of the old bottles from my grandmother's property, 1892. I've showed you guys this before. This is my pyrite. The little cubes in it. I moved that from the windowsill to into here. Tourmaline, mica, and mica. There's my painting. My friend gave me this. Little crinoid fossils. Super cool. That's my shelves. So I wanted to show my little collection of pins. I used to have more. I used to have a Smokey the Bear pin. This my mom got me when she was in Idaho recently. This one I got from gutting a house where the people were being evicted, and they said to just keep whatever you find, and this is an old school pin. So cool, look at that one. And then this horseshoe crab pin I got sent in the mail. When you go along the East Coast, if you find a horseshoe crab that has a pin with a number on it, like a plastic pin, and you report the number and where you found the horseshoe crab, then they will send you in the mail a little brochure with information about the horseshoe crabs. They'll send you this cute little pin. And this pin's awesome because it's got 2 pins, so I'm not worried about it falling off and losing it, because I would be so sad if I lost this one. I love it. Solid metal. So cool. So I have a major fascination with horseshoe crabs. I always have, but the past 2 summers I've had the opportunity to go down to the bay side of Cape May. So not Cape May, but the bay side in New Jersey. And that just happens to be where all the horseshoe crabs of the East Coast, the whole East Coast, they all go there, they breed, they spend most of the summer there. And if you go there in the spring, there are thousands and thousands of horseshoe crabs. I mean thousands. And then if you come back a few months later, you can see billions and billions of tiny horseshoe crab eggs that are this big. And they're different colors. They're mostly like this like aqua color. They're so pretty. I'll try to insert a picture of the eggs if I can find one. It is the coolest thing on the planet, and I just walk up and down the beach and they get stuck on their backs a lot and I flip them over. They're just the coolest animals ever, and I love them. And I actually collected some of their molts. So they molt kind of like how a snake sheds its skin. And I found a bunch of the babies' molts and I brought them home, and I actually took a mold, like I made a rubber mold with one of the molts. It actually destroyed the mold, but I now have a rubber mold to make as many little horseshoe crabs with resin as I want. I'll show you guys those too. They're pretty cool. Down here grabbing my little horseshoe crab resin things, and I did also some of these. I stained some cedar boards. This one I painted on top of. I decided I was not into the aspens. I kind of just like the simpleness of this better. Would not do the aspens next time. It's a little too busy, I think. I like the minimalism. This is a painting I never finished. This is kind of a wonky one. And yes, I'm in my crawl space right now. This one was kind of fun. This is like a church building down the road that I painted on top of some old crappy wood that I found. Here's a painting that I did of a grumpy toad. I took a photo of this toad the one day. He was very grumpy, and I was like, I'm going to paint him. This is just acrylic. One day at a time. Grumpy toad. And then me and my son got into pressing flowers this past spring and summer, and we were kind of playing around with that with Mod Podge. I'm also really weird and I love maps. I love maps. Anyway, so then I started incorporating maps from an old atlas. This one's wonky. This one ended up wonky, but these are all like purple loosestrife, some little cone flowers, some ferns from my garden. Gotta have the Queen Anne's lace. So there's something we were kind of working on. Here's a California one I started. I don't know what on earth I'm going to do with these. I guess hang them up. Little ferns. What else do we have? Here's an Alaska one that I did. No, it's like none of these are native flowers, so it doesn't really make sense, but it's what I had. Purple loosestrife Queen Anne's lace. This one I painted, but then I also incorporated some little, I don't know if you can see the texture, but some of these I painted, some of the daisies I painted, and then this is actually not purple loosestrife. This is some kind of mint from my garden. Yeah, I got those. This one, we got pink yarrow. Got some more clover, little ferns. There's that. There's another one. Same thing, same deal. I did a bunch of these. It was just fun to do. I don't know what I'm going to do with these. Maybe I'll hang them up someday. Oh, here's my abalone. The little abalones that I found in California when I was tidal pulling. This was fun. Is too busy. I feel like it's way too busy. But I have a ginkgo leaf that I incorporated. Got, what is this, mugwort? No, I don't even know what that is. There's a bee balm from my garden. Native bee balm. These are upside down. There's a purple bee balm I slapped on there, and the Mod Podge keeps them from the color changing. So these are just like textured paintings that I did. This one's my favorite because it's so simple. So here's some of my ridiculous projects. Let's start with baby horseshoe crab molts. in here. Here's some of them. There's sand all over. This is just some of them, but some of them are so teeny tiny. These are not dead horseshoe crabs. These are their molts. Look how perfect these little babies are. I have more of them somewhere else. There's a cutie. This one's quite a bit bigger. I don't know how many times they molt. Oh gosh, this is disgusting. I should not have kept the cicada in here. Oh, look how tiny this little guy is. He's so tiny and cute. This is disgusting. This cicada, last time I checked, was totally fine. I'm gonna have to clean this out. This has gotten pretty gross. There's a little cutie. Yeah, I'm gonna have to clean this out, but there they are. That's what they look like. I'll keep them in this little box. I'll have to clean that out. I took one of them and I made a rubber mold, so you can see that. I also did a mold of some of my crystals just for fun. But there he is, and then with that, I just kind of played around with resin. So I've made keychains out of these little guys. I did a white one and I made him into a Christmas ornament. His tail got kind of wonky. Maybe it's because he's so cold from being in the crawl space. But me and my kids kind of played around with glitter, and yeah, I'm gonna turn a lot of these into keychains. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. They're just kind of like a fun project. So there's my little horseshoe crabbies. And then we also played around with resin coasters. We got little maps. Did little sun catchers. With the pressed flowers. Let's see if you can see this better at the window, maybe? No, it's not really showing up. It's not really showing up, but let's see. You can see the colors. Oh yeah, you can see now. We got fleabane. Let's see. Fleabane right there. Pink yarrow. I don't know how you guys pronounce it. Some mint from my garden. I don't know what this is. Some yellow flower. I don't know what this leaf is, but I thought it was cool. These are actually yarrow leaves. Yarrow. The fleabane turned out so pretty. Fleabane leaves. I made little keychains. Little teeny tiny. Like here's a Queen Anne's lace one. Teeny tiny keychain. Here's one I'm gonna show you. This one turned out kind of pretty. It's all glittery. Pink yarrow. I love that it kept the color. It actually did. Once it's in the resin, it keeps that color. Here's a fleabane one. Close up. But yeah, it preserves it pretty well. I did not like how the glitter turned out on this one. There's the other side. The Queen Anne's lace. Little tiny Queen Anne's lace. But on rainy days, this is what we were doing. We were pressing flowers. So yeah, there's that. And I also made these little stickers of one of my favorite places to go to concerts when I was a teenager. It's not there anymore. Crocodile Rock. Somebody commented on my video that noticed it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe somebody knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, I saw so many bands there. I'll have to name them sometime. I can't think of the top of my head. So yeah, there's some of our little projects. As far as pressing flowers go, I have a lot of these books. A lot of them are actually books about plants. And we just spent all of our rainy days pressing flowers. So in some of these books, I don't know about this one. Okay, so let's see here. There's so many books. Let's see if we can find one. Okay, this probably has some in it. Oh yeah, these books are so cool. These are all illustrations and paintings, but you can see right here, this is not part of the book. These are actual ferns that I have pressed. Which is kind of cool because it's in a plant book. But most of these books that you pull out will have plants inside of them that I've pressed for just projects. Another example, I like this book, Canadian Wilderness Lands. Flip through that one. I know I put some in here. There's some juniper. Queen Anne's lace, purple loosestrife, which I don't feel bad about picking because it's highly invasive, but it is beautiful. This is yarrow from my garden. Tell me if I'm pronouncing it wrong. I always said yarrow growing up, but I think that's wrong. red clover. Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, anyways, this is some of the weird hobbies that I got into when the weather was crappy or if it was just too hot outside. That's the kind of stuff that I did this past summer, and it was a lot of fun. I don't know what to do with all this crap. I'll figure it out someday. Give it away to people. I don't know. Anyways, thank you for watching my crazy collection of garbage, and you guys have a really nice snow day.